Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 188 of Perpetual Backlog. We were gone last week because, one, there was barely any news. Two, I didn't want to pry myself away from Kai. All right, and I still don't want to pry myself away from Kai because I'm near the ending. So,
It is true. You're very close.
And I've heard some things about the ending of this game, and I don't know if I'm ready. Nothing detailed, obviously, because if anybody detailed the ending of this game for me, I would. Well, let's just say I'd probably be in jail. But I hear we probably get CS3'd again. So,
Oh.
for those who know what getting CS3'd means, it means you are leaving off at like the most cliffhangery of cliffhangers ever. Like, I'm gonna put this into perspective for you, all right? At the end of CS3, you fight the final boss, all right?
Yeah.
And after you fight the final boss, the final boss gets back up off the ground and goes to slash at you.
Mm-hmm.
And then your friend and party member for the past 3 games, all right, jumps in the way of this slash and gets killed in front of your eyes.
Right.
All right. And then she turns into a sword, but that's a longer to explain.
Yeah,
wow.
it gets fantastical
Yeah.
there after the
Yeah.
really heart wrenching, gut punch.
Yeah. And then main character Reen goes berserk, all right, and takes that sword and absolutely decimates this monster that you're fighting. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm talking about he like is slashes its arms off and just like steps on its head and just starts like going to town on it. And then one final like jab into like the back or whatever. All right.
Yeah.
By the way, hello, I'm Dolit and Leek is also here.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna get to that, all right. By the way, Dolit and Leek are here, by the way. All right.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm sorry. Also,
it's all good,
Yeah.
man. It's all good. I'm just giving you some shit.
Anyway, you kill this dragon. You unleash a curse upon the land. All right, because this dragon's actually not supposed to die. This is also after you watch 3 characters that you know and love throughout the series get blown up in a ship. And then the big bad villain gets in his mech, because you're in a mech, by the way, and grabs you by the neck and tells you, we're gonna go through this fairy tale that's stained in like ink as black as like, like fucking black as like death or something like that. And then you hear this like big and then it goes into the credits. And then you have to wait like for yeah, for Americans you have to wait like 3 years. And so yeah, I'm hearing this game ends it may be a very similar way. So I'm not looking forward to that. And by not looking forward to it, I mean I am actually looking forward to it because I actually really like those cliffhangers that they do. So and I know next year they're not making a Trails game because they're working on other games. So that means they have more time to make this next Trails game really good. So anyway,
Maybe not
Yeah.
cliffhanger, maybe actually fully rounded off story?
Oh, no, no, cliffhanger.
No.
Why
Cliffhanger? Okay.
people have already told me it's a cliffhanger.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and that this game also took 2 years because Kuro 2 came out 2 years ago or whatever. So, Falcom sometimes they like to they'll go back and forth on the games that they're like making. Like last year, East 10 came out instead of a Trails game. So sometimes they'll space out their games. It's not all the time that they'll like do an East like a Trails game one year and then another Trails game the next year. Next year they're working on the new Tokyo Xanadu game. So, and I actually kind of need them to space out like Trails games, like at least 2 years, because one, they're better products that way, and two, it gives Nisa time to localize these games. So, it's just way better that way. That's honestly, I'm not gonna talk about Kai. For one, I've already talked about it with Dalit, but anything I say is going to be spoilers for this game. And this game is only just out in Japanese, so I can't really say much outside of I played a little bit of that Sword Art Online game or whatever. That game's actually a lot more fun than a lot more fun than the beta was. Dalit, so.
That's good to hear. I'm well pleased to hear that.
I have tried a bunch of the other characters, and they're actually fun. But I also did watch a Sinon solo a level 94 dragon by standing all the way away from it and just sniping it from a bush.
Yeah, that checks out. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about what I remember of that character.
Yeah, and I'm talking about like this is like you're in a free roam quest or whatever, which I'll like lets you fight things in like certain area, like fight like different level things in different areas of an area. And so you could see this dragon from a ways out. And you just play Sinon and you just snipe the dragon from afar because it doesn't actually aggro him over to you. So.
Oh, so it just sits there. Okay, this feels
it
like
just sits there and takes the bullets. Yeah.
This feels like an old PS2. If you shoot the boss from beyond the wall, their AI won't turn on type of thing. That's very funny.
That's great. I'd like I'd like I might do that actually. That's hilarious. But yeah, I didn't play anything else. One of my monitors is dead, or not dead, but like one of the ports of my monitors is dead. So I'm currently working off of one monitor setup for my computer at the moment. So that's nice. Amazing. I love going back to the Stone Age. Yeah. Sorry for not introducing you guys. What did you guys do this week? Or the past 2 weeks, actually, because we didn't do anything last week.
Tell you what, I'll make this real simple. I had plans. I was going to do this, that, and the other. What ended up happening is I played Dissidia for 3 hours and Balatro for like 50.
Dissidia. Which Dissidia?
Duodecim. Don't be silly.
Okay,
The good one.
The good one. The good one. Okay, good.
Not playing NT. It's trash.
Yeah, you could have played the first one.
I might download it to like compare it, but it won't be on my computer for very long. I'll tell you what.
Whoa! After all that talk we had the other day, you did not download and emulate Thug?
Oh no, I'm sorry. That was that this week? No, surely that was last week.
Well, we haven't done nothing in 2 weeks, bro.
Okay, so sorry, I'm thinking of the last week. Over the last 2 weeks, I have actually played a bunch of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, and then Thug, and then Underground, which was just nostalgic. And as it turns out, still the best Tony Hawk game. Fight me. You won't.
Yeah.
No one's gonna fight me over this.
I mean, yeah, I wasn't gonna fight you over it. I also think it's the best Tony Hawk game.
It's the best. Like, don't get me wrong, Underground 2 is really good, and if you're into Bam Margera, it's probably the best for you. But like, OG Tony Hawk Pro Skater Underground, oh my god, it's so good.
It has the best story. Never did I think that I would like a skateboarding story, but oh my god, this one was really good.
It's the right level of ridiculous, but it's
Yeah.
like still competent. Yeah, no, it's a great time. I still enjoy it. It's still on my computer. Problem was I was then introduced to Balatro, and then I got home and I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I have Balatro now.
So what Dalet's saying, he's just a gambler now.
This is safe gambling. There's no gambling. The owner of the IP and the
Yeah.
creator of the game
He
has it in
hates
his will
gambling.
that
Yeah.
that no one is ever allowed to have this fall into the casino's hands, which they'll find a way around. Someone will just make their own off-brand Balatro and will end up in the casino. But this is
Not if he's
grand.
Nintendo.
Fair. Um, this game is great and I love it a lot. It is when people explain it to me as a poker roguelike, I didn't understand.
Now
I
you
now understand. And I'm doomed. I'm in trouble because I love roguelites and
You like
poker
poker.
in and of itself is very addicting. That's the problem. It's exactly why I don't fucking gamble. So, yeah, I've been here for a bit, and I hate myself for it. Thank you, phone. But yeah, that's mostly what I've gotten down to. I guess I very, very briefly played through the Metaphor demo, uh, but I got put off it. Not for anything the game does. I just got to the actual dungeony section. You can't save. I got up to literally go walk into the end boss and my power cut out. So
Oh, ooh.
that wasn't great.
Oh, yeah, I understand that
So
feeling.
at this point, I'm just not going to do the demo, and I'll just play the game whenever I play the game.
Can't play on the
I
hardest difficulty on the demo anyway.
Yeah, I'm not going to be doing that. I love myself. I saw this game catch some flack for something we've talked about in the past about its localization. People are ridiculous, man. Like this whole localization nonsense needs to die in a fire. Because I can't find a lot of situations wherein the meaning of a line has changed much. Like I need this to stop. I'm so tired of the controversy around it.
Yeah, it annoys me.
Also, the fairy is so fucking good. I don't know why anyone wouldn't like her. She is my favorite character in that game as far as the demo goes.
You don't you,
Though
you
that
don't like
mysterious
Hulkamania?
woman was also pretty. Wait, what?
Hulkamania? Or I forget what her name is, but it starts with Hulk.
I
There
don't
there's a
remember who that
lady.
is by name.
She is a night lady with red hair and elf ears.
Oh yeah. She was just in a cutscene for me. I never actually met her.
Oh. She's a party member.
And I know about her. I know about her because I've kept up with a lot of the pre-release stuff, so I know about her. Who the character I didn't know about was the dark elf with the face markings. That's a good design. I like that design. I want to know more about it.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that is everything I got up to these past couple of weeks. A incomplete run of the demo, fantastic. Some Dissidia. I am through the Duodecim storyline and beginning the actual OG Dissidia stuff. And I'm going from the ground. This is new save file, like no levels, no accessories. It's miserable and getting better. Thank God it's getting better. Let's say maybe I just remembered this game being better than what it was, but no, it turns out level 1 in an RPG sucks compared to level 90.
Yeah. As
And a
like
whole lot of card games. A whole lot of
yeah.
card games.
As for like localization shit, I always get mad when people like complain about like the really small stuff that gets changed. Because that's not the issue with like some localizations. And they like kind of they kind of ruin it for everybody else. Because that's not the issue. That's not the real issue with like certain localizations. If something in a line has changed or whatever, that usually not really bad unless you can like directly see that there's like some sort of like agenda being pushed behind it. But if a word changed, that who the fuck cares?
But here's my thing: when have you ever seen that in localization in gaming?
In
'Cause
game.
that-
Oh,
I don't-
I don't know
don't-
about gaming. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
I
know
haven't
if
seen.
that changes in anime or something, but I know in gaming they do not do that.
No, they
Like,
don't.
the
I've never seen it
biggest-
done in gaming. Yeah.
Exactly, it doesn't happen. And people made a huge deal over this fairy whose name I can't remember. And the one that really sticks out to me is Unicorn Overlord. Like, there was this whole like thesis written up by some guy, presumably on Reddit, but maybe it was on Twitter. I don't remember.
Oh, I think I
And
remember this. Yeah.
Yeah, this was a big thing, and he like laid into how they were changing characters and doing this, that, and the other. And then, like, and I was like, oh my god, they're doing all this. That is absolutely astounding. I can't believe they would do this. And then I went to look at it, and I was like, no, no, they're just making them sound time appropriate. It's like what they did for Vagrant Story. Is always the best comparison. Vagrant
Mhm.
Story in Japanese does not sound like Vagrant Story in English, which I mean, obviously, it's two different languages. But the point that I'm getting at is Vagrant Story in English sounds. I don't want to say like biblical. It sounds like very old English. Like whenever
Mhm.
anyone thinks about knights, they
Whatever
think
Urianger
about
speaks.
this. Exactly. And in Japan, like I guess they kind of have something like this with like the old samurai dialect that I
Yeah,
don't
they
think
would use
Japan.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they'd use archaic stuff like that.
but they don't use that in video games because apparently, and I found this out like literally 4 days ago, most of Japan can't speak it, and they need it
No.
translated.
Well,
Yeah.
they use it kind of sort of for characters because they do use it in TV shows and stuff. Obviously, not
Hmm.
full on like it would be spoken, but they do. Like how we use Shakespearean English for historic dramas.
Sure.
They
Admittedly,
use
I'm
it
pulling
for
this in from.
they do use it for TV shows and stuff for samurai things.
All
And
right.
they
Well,
use
then,
it
yeah, I am
for
mistaken.
characters like your Jimbo and what's his
Makes
face?
sense.
Gilgamesh and
Yes.
stuff.
But that's probably not
Yes,
something they
that
would use in
makes
video
a
games.
lot of sense.
And they still use it for stage productions like Kabuki and No.
So
Yeah,
that's the
that
only
makes a
part
lot
that
of
I had
sense.
heard.
Yeah.
When I was looking this up, the person who I was speaking to, no, I wasn't speaking to, but I was listening to him speak, was the lead localization on Vagrant Story. It's why I'm
Mhm.
defaulting this. So maybe he's also a bit misinformed, but he did bring up those kabukis and just other stage plays and
Yeah.
mentioned that a lot of the time these plays are watched with an earpiece in because a lot of things have to be translated because a lot of people don't fully understand it.
Yeah.
That may not but that is true. Okay, never mind. So that may not be true, but the idea is the purpose of
Well,
this
when
is
I
to make
went
a
to watch
time
one,
period
they
appropriate.
they when I went to watch No production, and that is very, very old-fashioned to the point where
Yes.
people fall asleep when they watch it still.
Oh no.
They do. It goes on for very long. It goes on for a very long time, and it's
And it's
very
very slow.
slow-paced. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Very relaxing.
the masks, as I understand, you can't see through. Like
No,
all
no,
these
no.
movements are actually
Yeah, very precise.
done. Yeah, very
And every
precisely. Yes.
movement and position and everything has a meaning.
Ooh.
But yeah, there is an older Japanese. And, but I wasn't giving any translation or anything, but
Okay. Okay. So
they went heaven.
maybe we were both a little off on that
I
because
mean,
I
maybe
mean
they
Uh,
do
if you
for bigger ones, but I went
could
to a
be
smaller
okay.
production.
But
I see. I see.
they
Yeah.
wouldn't necessarily use that language in video games. They can't guarantee
No,
their
I'm
player
saying that
base to be able to
there
understand it.
there are versions
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah,
Equivalents.
equivalents that they do use that
Yes.
people do use as jokes and whatnot,
yeah.
and for historical dramas as well,
Yeah.
that
Something
people
else
do
like
understand. It is
yes, something else
known.
like I'm
Hmm?
gonna go. Okay, something else that came up in this was also the idea that, and I don't know this because I don't speak or read Japanese, so I do actually want to ask this of you, Leek, who does, to some degree. I don't know how
I don't
confident you
read
want me
it.
to just say that. Okay, yeah,
Don't be
exactly.
typical.
Um, but you wouldn't need to read it. I guess you would just need to hear it.
Yeah.
If you've ever played something in Japanese that also has had an English dub, have you ever found that it's much more frank and direct in Japanese, where it tends to be more flowery in English. It just seems this is a normal thing. The Japanese just don't seem to
Well,
want
no,
to be that flowery.
no, I wouldn't agree with that. I think it's just as they use metaphors and everything, and idioms and all that we would in English. It's just
Mm,
that some translations aren't one to one because they have words that simply don't exist in English.
sure, that's
We just have
something.
to translate it into full sentences instead,
y-
you know?
Right, that is something I was going to get to. So then there was the whole other
And
aspect that was some things don't translate.
it also depends on the genre, it also depends on the game type and so on. So,
Sure, sure.
like in Final Fantasy, they would be full on like proper dialogue and stuff and whatnot, right? And in RPGs and stuff. But for fighting games and shit like that, nah, right? So
That makes sense, right? Yeah. Anyways, that was my big
Yeah.
diatribe on localization. How much I hate this talking point that's come up lately.
now
Yeah.
just
My
imagine Nier, right? Nier,
yeah, yeah.
fully philosophical in Japanese too,
True.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. My anger towards localization is usually geared for the anime because they have got a lot more um I don't want to say bad people, bad actors in their localization department that that don't even contact like the authors of like the show to ask if
Oh,
they don't like, because there was an anime that had such a drastic change in its localization that in both its localization for the anime and for the manga, that he pulled it off of the shelf for the Western
wow,
audience because
really?
they just changed so much to it. Yeah.
This was an
Wow,
issue that happened back in the early 2000s, like very commonly. Yeah, to the point that Funimation screwed over the dubbing industry forever.
wow.
Mm.
The reason why American shows aren't allowed to redub lip flaps, not redub, but reanimate lip flaps, apparently has to do with Funimation. Not Funimation, I'm sorry. 4Kids, not
No.
Funimation.
Oh,
4Kids.
for
Yes.
kids? Oh yeah, they're
Um,
notorious.
yeah, they did. They were tampering with ideas too much. We all know they're big. They're big for not wanting any alcohol or guns or anything like that. So they
Yeah.
were making too many adjustments and changing things too greatly. And I don't know how this works. I've never looked into it, but apparently this is why dubbing is so difficult. In why
Mm-hmm.
like English dubbers have to like fall within the lip flaps instead of doing the more logical thing, which is slightly changing the flaps, but can't do that anymore. Or I guess I don't even know if they were doing it then, but they were clearly changing other aspects, and so they no longer can do anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like honestly, the biggest thing that it's actually one of the reasons I haven't touched the English version of Kuro. I really I can't hear them call Elaine Beauty's Blade. I can't do it.
Ah, Beauty's Blade.
I can't do it. I just can't.
What's the actual title? Because it's surprisingly It's surprisingly different. And this is one of
Sword
those instances.
Sword Maiden.
Sword Maiden, right? And this is one of those instances where they explain themselves as to why they wanted to do it, and it makes a sort of sense. But also, I feel, God, this feels like really Dunning Kruger, where like I feel like I know better, but I feel like they missed the point.
It They focused on one aspect of Elaine, of her not liking being called her nickname, and didn't think about what her nickname was
The
and what it
Yeah, the
meant
greater
for her.
context of it, exactly.
Yeah. They were just like, oh well. They were like, who wouldn't want to be
We're just gonna
called
make her
Sword Maiden?
embarrassed about it.
Sword
Exactly. Yeah.
Maiden sounds cool. Why wouldn't you want to be called Sword Maiden? Well, maybe it's because Sword Maiden is actually a play on Lance Maiden, and if you're compared to somebody who's literally a god, uh, then I don't. Maybe
You
you
now
wouldn't
struggle
want
with
to.
anxiety about measuring
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yes, exactly. So
Uh,
yeah, this is like one of the few times I completely forgot about this. But yeah, this is one of the few times where even I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that particular choice. But by and large, I think they nail it pretty well.
yeah. And my biggest issue is that is if they had a Japanese word for Sword Maiden. that they called her sword maiden, like that way, that like some Japanese word that translated to what a sword maiden would be. No, they literally say sword maiden. It's written out in katakana. It's written out, they literally say it phonetically.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Yeah. Anyway, I can't go on that tangent. Leek, what did you do?
You're gonna be so disappointed, judgmental.
Uh-oh. We've gone back to WoW? What?
No, I played Roblox.
Leek,
I
how do you keep digging down?
Well, I mean, you can't
Wait,
dig up, Dalit.
Yeah,
shut
that's
up.
true. That's true.
How dare. Okay, but honestly, how did we get here?
It's because the mates I roleplay with just messed around, just like going to random worlds and stuff. We went on this really nice
Okay.
cruise.
Okay.
And what else did we do? We did wrestling, WWE style wrestling.
Oh
We
yeah, brother.
did like a GTA type. Of course we did.
Of
Called
course you did.
Ohio. What else we did? Oh god, you know what? You know the blobs that you have to like eat other blobs to become a bigger blob.
Yes.
Yeah, that was actually really fun. We did that for ages.
That is an addictive
That was
game,
actually
yeah.
very, very fun. Yeah. I'm yet to play, what's it called? That fashion one. Dress something, I can't remember. But yeah, Dress to Impress. I haven't played that one yet, but that's apparently a
Hmm.
popular one. A very popular one. It's where you basically given a prompt, dress like blah blah blah, or dress like a adjective or whatever, right? Or an like generic noun, whatever. And then yeah, you're given a prompt, you do that theme, and then you're judged, and whoever has the most points wins, or whatever. You could do it as a team, but
Well,
yeah, that's it.
you're being
Now
judged. You're
I also
definitely
play.
being judged.
Yeah, I knew I would be. So yeah, that's the thing that happened. Um, I also played Project for Zomboid. That was just fun.
Oh,
Sorry, help me out with this one.
Project Zomboid, you don't know?
First of all, are you okay?
Yeah, my
All
voice is
right.
just creepy.
No, I don't know this. At least not by
Oh,
name.
yeah. Oh, okay. It's been around for quite several years actually. It's essentially an isometric top-down zombie survival game.
Oh
And
yeah, no, I have no idea what
it's
this is.
very in depth in that you have to is you start from day 1 of the apocalypse, and then it goes on for years and years. And as the years progress, things get harder and harder. There's like, of course, energy eventually runs out, gas runs out, water supply is cut off, so you have to find new ones and stuff like that. Uh, if you're bleeding, you have to patch yourself up. You can't get the wounds infected, so you have to make sure it's all clean and stuff. Um, you have to, like keep your area hygienic as well because hygiene is important. Diseases. You can make things. There's lots of different crafting stuff, cooking, and that obviously gets harder and harder as supplies and whatnot run out. So eventually, you might have to end up like fighting other people that are survivors. The zombies come at night time a lot, and there's like lots of horde mechanics for them. Um, it's like role play stuff too. So as in like numbers and skills and stuff you level up,
Right. Right.
and you can choose your job or skills and stuff you're better at. Like, it could be more of an engineer or more of a nurse type of or a mechanic or whatever, right? You can even just be a dude that plays a guitar. You can't just be a dude that plays a guitar if you want. But yeah, and then you can go out that you're in a town, but you can venture out of the town, and the map just goes on forever and ever. Of course, at nighttime it's difficult. They take in consideration temperatures and stuff. So in winter, it gets harder to survive, and you have to take care of the temperature. You don't want to get hypothermia and stuff.
Mhm.
It's just lots of things it goes into, but it's like very very simple, like a simple polygon, low poly art. You know,
hmm.
Right. Okay, that's cool.
yeah, Yeah, it's alright. It's actually very fun to play. So I was doing that with mates.
Mhm.
What else? Obviously GTA. I started a new character to
Another new
replace Perry.
character.
It's my main to replace Perry, you know?
F's in chat. F's in chat for
Yeah,
Perry.
poor Perry. Uh,
Perry's not
so this
replaceable
this new
though.
one's called Jackie, and he is a taxi driver.
Yeah, this is what you were mentioning
Essentially.
at the very end of it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's very unlike Perry, he's not as social. He's more antisocial, and I wanted to play the opposite of Perry, really.
Mm.
But we'll see how that goes.
Mhm.
Um, um, what else? Oh, yeah, I played Pickle Park too. If you wanna hate your friends, play that.
Yeah, Matthew was telling me about it.
It's very fun, but
Yeah.
also, if you got people that don't have patience, they're gonna rage.
Mhm.
Yes, yes. I do recommend it, it's quite cheap. I like some of the puzzles, very clever.
Yeah, I was shown a few things, and that definitely does feel like Mario, a Mario Party level. If you were not covered in blood by the end of it, you probably were doing
Mhm.
something wrong.
Yeah.
That old Pico Park. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
fucking what is it? Again, Mouse was also playing this. I
It's
remember
good.
I remember the game where you're like you have a couple of people like blocking these the shots from a ship or whatever, and you're like shooting the ship from behind. Kind of like a sideways Galaga.
Oh, okay, okay.
But yeah, imagine Galaga, but like flip, like horizontal, and one ship shooting balls instead of like multiple ships. And you have people that have like shields or whatever, and they can stop. They can stop they can stop the attacks, while the other people can like come out from behind your like shield and start shooting at the ship. It looked pretty cool. That's all I saw them play. So
Mhm.
looked interesting.
It's good. You should play it.
I can't. I'm in
Well,
the
if I can,
middle. If I can,
I was
Wait,
if I could get if I could get
when you
released
finish
from
the
this
game.
game.
Yes.
there it is. Well, yeah, if he ever gets away from, because he's gonna beat it this time, and now he's gonna have to go chat about it with everyone for like 2 weeks before a full
Yep.
understanding is had.
Mhm.
Yep. Because I'm gonna be
And then he'll
I'm
probably
like,
play through
what
it
the fuck
again
just
just to
happened?
catch the
What the
things he didn't catch.
Nah. I can't replay this game in Japanese, man. I need the English version. I never replayed the like my other Trails games in Japanese. I always waited for the English version to like actually get like the full context. Cuz I know what happens, but I need but I need the English to know what happens. So,
Right, right. We're
yeah.
going from a general understanding to a very specific.
Yeah. And I wouldn't get that on a second playthrough of the JP version. I'd just be like holding my phone up to my screen again and being like, "What is it? What are they saying?" Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It kills me that this is how you do it. It makes so much sense, but I always forget that.
Yeah. I have a I have a thing that like an overlay that uses Google that will use like the Google Translate or whatever on my computer. And I could put up my my capture card and have it do it, but like for some reason it's not like changing the text when the text changes in the game. And so I stopped using it because it was just too much work. And now I only have one monitor that's working. I still I can't do it. Well, actually I could, but I would just have two two screens up of the same thing, just one with a slight video delay.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all you did, Leak?
Yes, that's it.
Yes. Oh,
I think. But yeah,
no
let's just say yes for now.
World of Warcraft, eh?
Nope. I am subscribed. I had my fill. I knew this would happen. I would like hyper focus on it because it's like, grind and I don't need to think of anything and then just do it forever. And then I would
Mm,
just one day stop because that's what always happens.
Yeah,
yeah,
understandable, frankly.
Yeah.
yeah. My Enju in my Discord, um, the other day was like, or not the other day, but last night after I had to like play like 15 hours of Kai, and I was like, all right, well, I've finished this act and a route in the final act, whatever. I'm gonna take a break and go to bed and stuff like that. And they're
Mhm.
like, we're like, you're so close to the end of the game, and I'm like, yeah, you want me to burn out into where I leave where I set this game down for a year and not and don't finish it? Because I do that. I've done that a lot of times. Too many to count. Um, but if you're done, and since
Yes.
Little doesn't grace us with his presence every week like he should,
Hey guys, don't forget to sub to the channel if you're into what you're hearing. While you're down there, remember to like the video as much as we like you. You'll be good now.
we move in to the news that we got this week.
It's
And
news day, baby.
it's not very much news, but it's news. Um. So, I I guess this might be a good thing. 343 is no more. They are renaming themselves to Halo Studios, and they've announced that they're working on Project Foundry, whatever that means. And they showed off some stuff using Unreal 5. So
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
the new Halo, whatever new Halo they're using is going to be on Unreal 5.
I mean, switching from 343 to Halo Studios, I mean, that's fair enough in it. Like, let's be
If that's
real.
all they're going to be doing, yeah.
That's all they've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this might be for a couple of reasons. If I had to stop and think about it, um, this may well be them distancing themselves from the legacy of 343, which has been what, mediocre to not very good.
Yeah.
Moreover, I'm not sure how many people still working at 343 even had anything to do with Bungie. Like, I don't know if like there's any old talent still attached to the studio. This might be like a remarketing because like this is now officially all new people. Furthermore, I mean, like we were just saying, 343 has always just been a Halo studio for Microsoft. So now at least the branding is correct. Hopefully,
Yeah.
this marks the beginning of like a new day for the company and the IP because Halo needs it.
Yep.
As for UE, I mean, like this is great, right? Uh, Microsoft has made a lot of cuts. I have no idea if 343 has been impacted by that. I assume it has. Onboarding new talent. Unreal Engine is always going to be like the default. It's going to be the easiest thing for people to get in because it's probably where they learned to do their sector of art and coding.
Yeah.
So it seems like a good thing. I hope it actually is.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hold my breath. I
Yeah,
think
that's fair.
Halo's not been good since Reach, and since 343, didn't make Reach, it would make sense. So
Yeah. And the direction of Microsoft in general hasn't been ideal. So there's like
no.
no aspect of like a for sure save here. Other than UE5 is going to make it look real pretty. And they won't have to deal with whatever. I forget the engine they were on for Infinite. What's just the Infinite engine? The Infinity engine?
I think so. Halo Infinite engine. The Slip Space engine,
Ah, all right, they have it.
whatever that is.
I remember them making a big deal over this, like when they first came out. I mean, I say this as if that's never been done before, looking
Oh,
straight at you, Square Enix.
yeah.
So
I
I
mean,
guess, yeah.
it's their own. It's their own engine that they only used for Infinite. So
Yeah, so this is just Luminous Studios all over again. Or
yeah,
The Luminous
so,
engine all over again.
yeah. Well, the Luminous made 2 games. They at least
Was
had 2
that
games.
used in was it used in
15 and
Forspoken?
Forspoken, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Actually, for the life of me, I couldn't remember Forspoken.
Yeah. Yeah. 15 and Forspoken were the only games on Luminous. Like the best thing Luminous did, all right, was whatever piece of uh Luminous that made the Crystal Tools engine made 14. That's literally the best thing Luminous has ever done.
Fair.
So so yeah, I mean, I hopefully there might be a good Halo around the corner. I like I said, I'm not holding my breath. I do hear generally that people that do pick up Infinite now that it's better. But I don't think you'll ever beat the likes of old school Halo, and like old school Halo just still feels really good. So
Like, yeah, any new Halo has to deal with the fact that it can be as technically sound as possible. It's A, not going to have the nostalgia factor, and B, isn't coming at a time when games are finding themselves. Like, no new Halo going forward is probably ever going to be like the foundational game that was Halo and Halo 2, especially Halo 2.
yeah, yep. Well, good luck to the folks over at Halo Studios.
Yep.
You make that Halo game. Um. So somebody had an interview with like the producer of Tales of Grace's F. He stated, who is also, I guess, the producer of Tales of the Abyss as well. And he was like, I'd like to see a Tales of the Abyss remake or remaster at some point in time. So maybe hashtag maybe one day.
You look, my guy, you can't just say that to me. What are you doing? You can't just put that out there into the ether. I want this. Why is this not the next game coming out? Like,
Because the
once
next
you've
one's
done that,
Xillia.
I don't care what you make after that. I'm in. But I do need Abyss to be in.
Yeah, I
Get
mean,
on that. Don't give me hope. Don't do this. Unless you're gonna do
that
it, in which case, give me all the hope that I can muster.
yeah, just announce, be like, hey, yeah, we're working on a Tales of the Abyss remake, and don't worry, we're getting all the old voice actors back. Like,
Look, I don't care if you just do what Metal Gear Delta's doing.
oh yeah, true.
I need this.
I would like a little bit more of an update to the gameplay. Uh,
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. I literally just meant in terms of no need to re-record things, just
oh yeah,
shot for shot. But yeah, you can mess with the gameplay, like bring that and make that modern. Oh man, can you imagine a Tales of the Abyss game with like forget Arise for a second, but just even with Berseria's system?
I would
I
love it.
can. I can imagine that.
Although, even though I said as soon as I saw the characters that are in the secret dungeon Arise, I'm like, oh man, I think Berseria automatic already needs a remake. Just
Yeah, you were
remake it as
mentioning
the
that.
dungeon.
I remember talking about that.
I was like, it looks so good. Oh my god. Like those like some of those iconic places from Zestiria and Berseria in the Arise engine or whatever. I'm like, god damn. Yeah, who knows? Hashtag maybe one day. I mean, we got Grace's F coming out. They've stated why Grace's F is coming out first. It's one of the 3 PlayStation 3 games. So I think that they're focusing on those 3 first. Because those 3 need to get off of that system. Not to mention they also removed those 3 off of from the store, so you can't even buy them on the PlayStation Store anymore on PS3. So, so yeah, they need to get those off, and then they'll work on stuff like, who knows, maybe a Tales of the Abyss remaster. I mean, they could just do a remaster. I don't know. They could just port it to PC.
I will buy it twice. I will buy the original version that you port over, and I will buy the remaster that you make in like 3 years. Give this to me, please.
Yeah.
Why won't you accept my money?
Like, remember we were, okay. Actually, I'll save it for that other thing, because it's gonna go in line with that. Next up, mine and Dalet's friend Melody, was featured in a Games Radar article this week because she's been working on a very ambitious project virtually by herself for like 5 years.
It's insane.
Our friend Melody, she's also referred to as like Sheep Wife 1 on Reddit, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
She's a huge Monster Hunter fan, like extremely huge Monster Hunter fan.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where she decided to reverse engineer the Monster Hunter language to multiple other languages like Japanese and English. Because she can speak. I think she's pretty fluent in Japanese. And she used to be an English teacher, like an AP English teacher, if I recall correctly. Anyway, she's working on reverse engineering the Monster Hunter language she's done it for like the past 5 years. And the question you guys were asking about, like, does Monster Hunter language have like a name or whatever? See, the thing is, the Monster Hunter language doesn't have a name per se, but it is broken up into like 3 different dialects. There's like 3 to 5 different dialects.
Oh, dialect.
Yeah, because one of them is the Wyverian language.
Right,
Yeah. I know the
yes.
Wyverian is separate to what they mainly
Um,
speak.
I think there's Guild Basic or Guild Standard.
What we speak as
Yep.
the player.
Yeah. Let me click on this article. There's West Islander, Guild Standard.
Oh, the Moga people speak a different language. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. West Islander, is spoken to those in Yakumo, Kamara, and Poke Village. Guild Standard is
Oh
whatever.
wait, that's the West Islander. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's not where I thought it was.
Guild Standard is what pretty much all like the main characters like speak that are part of the guild.
Yeah.
There's Inlander. This is the language you hear in Monster Hunter X and or Cross and Double Cross, and Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate.
Okay.
There's Coastal, which
there it is
in Monster Hunter Tri, Port Tangia, Moga, and Lock. And then there's South Islander, and this is the language spoken to those native in the South Islands, like the people you hear in the Hakum Village and the cast of Monster Hunter Stories 1.
And that's crazy. I never noticed they were that different.
She states in the article that she can't fully reverse engineer it because there's not actual like written context language in Monster Hunter. It's all spoken, and so she has to use like her own context and how she hears what she hears between like greetings and certain specific conversations that you have with the characters, because she plays the games in nothing but the Monster Hunter language.
A purist.
Yeah. But she said she's working on like a codex, like a
Oh, wow.
400 plus word codex for the game, and she's trying to rush it right now. She said she's likely invested like 2,000 plus hours of her time into it. Which is like, some people's actual Monster Hunter playing time. This is not including her Monster Hunter playing time, which is also probably up that high. And she says she wants to get it out by the she's trying to get like what she has out before Wilds comes out, because Wilds is most likely going to come with a different dialect. So she even has like examples of how to say some stuff.
Sample sentences.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
example, it says that Monster Hunter Wild de gare dut husoti gire translates pretty cleanly to, it feels like we've been waiting for Monster Hunter Wilds for years. Meanwhile, Roku Shoshi de Monster Hunter Mayera would mean, which village in Monster Hunter do you like?
Okay.
All that stuff. So
Interesting.
You sound like a native.
yeah.
Is there like phonetic instruction as well, like how each
Yeah, I
syllable
think
is
she's
pronounced? Or...
yeah, I think she's working on stuff, like she's working on stuff that she can release onto like Reddit or whatever. She's like, trying to build a lexicon of things that like would be able to teach people how to like at least understand what is being said in the Monster Hunter language. And she said she's going to release videos as well,
Right.
explaining things. So this is an insane thing. I knew Melody was doing something like this, or like doing, like, I know she was like
Or, yeah.
translating. I know she was like doing it as like a hobby, like to just translate some stuff or whatever. I didn't think she was doing it for this long. or that she was like had like a database of like shit that she's been doing, it's insane. This is like this is what you do when you love language, apparently.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um
I agree.
so hopefully I hope people over at Capcom see this and be like shit. we may have made the language, but maybe we didn't put too much thought into this.
That's my biggest fear. Is the reason why she's struggling so hard in bits and places is because at some point they just stopped wanting this to be like a language and just needed it to be enough.
I mean, who knows? They probably do have somebody on the team, like, actually, like, because if it's still as consistent as it is, like, even going through World and Rise or whatever, there's somebody on the team that's still doing the language,
True. Yeah.
because she goes back like as early as Try to
Matter of fact, it'd probably be even more important now because they've decided to make the delineation between the Monster Hunter languages and the various actual languages so that we can just hear the voice actors.
yeah. Yep. That's pretty insane. That's actually really insane. Good on you, Melody. I did pass it over to Lavrin so he could look at it. So, he said it was very. He said he was like really interested in this. So,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, that's amazing. You know what else is amazing?
What?
Go on then.
Dalit's realization of why they actually put Cristiano Ronaldo in in Fatal Fury.
Oh,
Yeah.
why tell?
Okay.
So, yeah, please lead up to the actual story.
All right. So, announced this week, apparently Saudi Arabia is looking to increase their stake in Nintendo. They already own about 8.93% of Nintendo. Like that's how much stake they have in Nintendo. But what Dalit forgot when I was talking about this the other day was that Saudi Arabia owns SNK, who make the Fatal Fury games, and Saudi Arabia is huge footy fans.
Yes.
Ronaldo
Which
specifically plays for Nasser.
Al-Nassr, yes.
Oh yeah, Japan are huge Ronaldo fans, but not Saudi Arabia.
So,
I
yeah.
didn't mention that one.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I think a lot of people probably remember Ronaldo from his time. I mean, he still is like a national player for Portugal.
Yeah.
But yeah, he also plays for Al-Nassr in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, I see.
Which, yeah, the whole all of this being that, and I'll mention it. I forgot that the PIF, the Public Investment Fund, that Saudi Arabia's big marketing push into gaming, had a 90 or maybe 95% stock in SNK. Like they own that company essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, no, officially, because they are majority stakeholders. So it's like, yeah, of course, that's how. I still don't know why, mind you. But it's like that's how he gets in there.
Yeah.
And now people are worried about this going forward.
Yeah, people are like, this isn't a good thing because, like, oh my god, Saudi Arabia is gonna like buy a huge share in Nintendo, and they're gonna start like pushing stuff into Nintendo products and all that stuff, which is, I not something they specifically, I guess, want to do or whatever. I understand people are like, well, yeah, this is how we got Ronaldo in Fatal Fury. Okay, for one, it's a goofy guest character. Why don't you complain about 95% of the other goofy guest characters that are in every single fucking fighting game across the history of man? All right.
Got a couple of them.
Two, like I think the worst you're gonna see is that, all right, Saudi Arabia is huge fans of like a very specific thing. You just might see some of that stuff like in a Nintendo game if they have like a majority share or something like that. Which I don't think they will. I think the amount of shares you would need to buy into Nintendo is. I mean, I know they're richer than God over there, but
so it's a weird thing with Nintendo. The Public Investor Fund is actually the second highest shareholder in Nintendo at 8.5%.
Yeah.
What makes this a weird number is knowing that Nintendo Co. itself only owns 10.5%. Nintendo has so many investors.
Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness. 50% of that company was just like unaccounted for when I looked this up. Investment. So change. This is not going to lead to any changes on Nintendo's. As a non-majority stakeholder, you can only say if you do this, that, and the other, we'll pull out our investment. Frankly, for Nintendo, I don't actually think that really means anything because if you would see a bump in the stock market for Nintendo, but that would be filled in so quickly by other folks that want a piece of the Nintendo pie that I just don't think it matters. Furthermore, if Saudi Arabia is clever, like I assume them to be, they're not going to want to make any changes to what works. And whilst we all, as consumers, have many an issue with Nintendo and its products and the way they deal with their business, it is impossible for us to say that that business model is not very, very successful.
Yeah.
And the number one thing an investor wants is for the company to continue being grossly successful. So
yeah, They're just looking to make more money. They're not looking to push
Exactly.
anything.
Remember, all of this comes from the whole reason the PIF exists is because Saudi Arabia understood that it needed to pivot out of oil as it's like the sole majority like income for, maybe not sole, but like the majority income for the nation, to other things, and
Yeah.
they've pivoted now towards gaming and towards sports. So these are
Mhm.
two very, very lucrative fields if they can make it work.
Yeah.
And SNK,
Like,
not a big get. Nintendo's a great thing to invest in because you will always see well, I don't know about always, but since 1886 or something, Nintendo's been doing all right.
yeah. They've been, they've been doing okay. Let's be real here. They're
It's only
doing
been like
okay.
200 years. It's fine.
Yeah. Man. But yeah, anybody that has worries about this, I wouldn't worry about it. Like, I mean, if the worst thing you're gonna see is Ronaldo and like fucking what, Mario, who cares? That'd be funny.
It's strange. The Ronaldo thing is actually like a really solid shout, and it's better than what I expected. Because I've heard some less than good things
Yeah,
come out, talk
yeah.
about the way that how they expected to see women represented going forward, how they
They're not gonna do that.
expected exactly. That is where you finally wander into the silly part of the internet that doesn't know how to separate their own politics from a company.
Yeah,
So yeah, no. As an investor, I imagine the most they could do is pivot and say, we would like the company to start doing things that maybe they're not already doing that would lead to um, success. And honestly, they can say that for as much as they want. They are not majority shareholder. Nintendo can just say no. Again, and I can't say this enough times. If the PIF pulls out of Nintendo, Nintendo's going to be fine. All of those shares will either be sucked up by the mother company itself or by one of a million other people who want to be a shareholder in Nintendo.
yeah. Yeah.
Yep,
I
yep.
just thought it was funny. I'm like,
Yeah, no, it's freaking
okay.
hilarious.
Right, Saudi Arabia
Watching
wants
people
to,
lose their minds about
yeah.
the PIF is like listening to. It feels like forever ago, but it was very recently when no one trusted Tencent. And now no one bats an eye because Tencent hasn't moved in to change the market in any great way. It's almost like they just want to make more money.
Mhm.
I mean, you and I looked up Tencent. We know that's just a money.
It's sketchy, but yeah, it's sketch. But at the end of the day, they just want to make money. That's all it is.
They're just laundering over there. It's fine.
Which does, yeah.
That's all they're doing.
I mean, it might get more interesting with our next story.
It's a
Yeah?
Cayman Island. It's a Cayman Island.
It's a Cayman
company.
Island account. You can't do that and not look sketch. You could be the sweetest, most upfront people. That's shady.
Yeah, Tencent's just all about making money. They don't care what's going on to make money. They just like, hey,
They're not here to turn you into a bunch of communists. It doesn't even benefit them to do that.
hey,
They just want to take your money. They want to take your USD in your American companies and convert it to not the yen. What's the Chinese denomination?
Oh, the one.
The
One.
won.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that Korean?
Whatever. They want to take
Fine.
the American
Fine,
dollar, switch it to whatever the Chinese dollar is, and be absurdly rich in China where they are based. That's
Yeah,
it. That's all it is.
it's
That it is.
Mm.
It is the one. Yes, it is. Holy shit!
Yeah, you look at the exchange rate.
I could be rich in China.
Yeah, well, kinda. Depends where you go.
Well, yeah, true. It's 14 cents to a won.
Oh, a little less than 10 to 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you
That's
think Nintendo would allow? I mean, I know they want to make money, but do you think they'd allow something like a place like Saudi Arabia to have more stakes in their stocks and stuff and have a
Yeah.
say? So
No.
What? No, they wouldn't allow. Okay, so there's like a finite amount of stocks. All right.
Yeah.
They would have to buy up the other people that have the shares in it, and
Yeah.
if they're not selling, then they can't buy it.
Well, more importantly than that, there is a legalness to all this. You have to announce um your plans, especially if you plan to overtake and become majority shareholder. You can't just spring that on the company that
Right. Okay. Okay.
owns it. So Nintendo is in no issue, because I know it's a little scary hearing Nintendo's only at 10% of the company, and hearing the PIF get to 8.5. But no, if Nintendo catches even a sniff that this is getting fishy, they'll just start buying back stock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And
That
then
said,
we
I'm
get
surprised it's only 10%, but I guess this is how you
yeah.
maximize your
True.
your income.
Yeah. If you're not,
It is funny that this is why Ronaldo is in.
It never dawned on me till Aqua literally said, the PIF like owns SNK, right? I was like, oh, that's right. Holy shit, he plays for Al-Nassr. This suddenly makes so much sense to me.
yeah.
Because the problem is they just showed they just showed the football arena and the number 7, and that's I just went to Portugal because that's what I associate Ronaldo with. And then it was like, oh no, that's right. This is
Yeah.
that's interesting. It still doesn't make sense, but at least now I see how we got here-ish.
It
Yeah.
makes sense business wise. Doesn't make sense
I
in the
guess.
lore of SNK or Fatal
No,
Fury.
yeah, because there is this weird place in me that does feel like Messi, Jesus, that Ronaldo is going to shift units. Like Ronaldo fans are, it's like footy fans of specific players, not even of the team, but like when they get that specific into it, yeah, they go all in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
this might
so,
actually be a good business decision.
Yeah. It's like they're like, yeah, we put Ronaldo in this fighting game. But he's a soccer player. Yeah, so? We're just looking to sell we're just looking to sell units.
To be fair, and this is not exactly apples to apples, but LeBron was in the WB Smash game.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, but
I feel like that's mostly just down to LeBron being
I don't
he
think
just wants to be
LeBron sold
famous.
units.
Well, no, he didn't, but LeBron really just he wants to be famous so bad.
Yeah.
And he is, but I mean like as a movie star. And also WB probably had the rights because of
No,
Space Jam 2.
Yeah, it's probably because it's just Space Jam 2. Yeah.
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 Multiverses. Yeah.
Multiverses.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, now we get to talk about our favorite company.
Yes, the spicy thing.
Y'all know that
Yes.
Ubisoft's like dying, right?
Ubisoft,
Dead.
the big giant.
Yeah, they're dying. Actually, let me look at Ubisoft stock here.
Sure. I mean, Ubisoft's had a rough time of late for sure. Outlaws only moved like 1 million units, which is underwhelming for any AAA Star Wars game. Shadows has had no shortage of controversy since its reveal? X Defiant, I think, is being said it's about to die.
Yeah.
And now the shareholders are rebelling against the company. Yeah, it's been rough to be Ubisoft.
Hey, their stock is up. It was at like $8 a share a couple days ago. It's now at $13.10. Hey, they're doing a little bit better.
So, there's a number. So actually, I am a little surprised to hear that it's up so much. But I suspect there's a reason for that. We were just talking about them, but there's been a rumor going around the mill that says that Tencent is wanting to buy out the company from the Gimos, from the Gimos,
Yeah,
yes,
Gimo, yeah.
and take it private again and just take it off the market. So whilst everything was nice and low, $8 is, I mean, that's a pretty sweet deal. people probably snatched up a bunch of them and are going to turn around once it spikes right before or right after the sale. I'm not 100% sure. But that said, I regardless of whether that holds any validity, this has been something that we've known about for ages. The Gemos have gone back and forth about wanting to keep the company under themselves, and then wanting to sell it off because Ubisoft's been in nothing but hot water for like 10 years, it feels. So it feels like there's always something about Ubisoft.
Yeah,
And
the guy the
recently it's just
guy's
gotten worse and worse.
the guy's children don't even want to take it over.
Which is, in my head, bizarre because I don't care how much I don't want to be a business person. That's so much money. That's so to just take over the company and sell it. That's so much money. Like I might not like Ubisoft as a publisher, as a developer, a lot of their games individually, but I'm not so stupid to say that that is a worthless company. That company is that's one of the big companies in gaming.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it being this big is the reason why it faces all of these issues.
Yeah, like union has called for staff at Ubisoft's French operations to strike over
Right.
the return to office order and pay dispute. So like I mean
Yeah.
even with like I mean with obviously we knew within the work structure of Ubisoft it's been dire as well. So maybe that's I mean that could just be a thing that like the Gemos just didn't really want to deal with anymore.
Well, the Gemos have to
Like,
deal with all of this.
well,
To speak
Eve's
about,
Gemo has to,
well,
not his
this is
family.
true. Well, I mean, look, that I'm assuming the whole family gets a cut of the money, so everyone has to deal with it. Uh, Ubisoft is facing an assault on a bunch of different fronts. There's the public assault that like where everything's gone wrong and all of the consumers are very, very angry with what's been happening as of late. Moreover, the how tired all the fans seem to be with the Ubisoft formulas, whether it be Assassin's Creed, the RPG Assassin's Creeds, which I mean, they Valhalla did really well, so I'm not even sure how tired people
That
actually are if they just want to say
that
they are.
that was the COVID buff though.
That is true. That is 100% true. But furthermore, just yeah, the same zenith that has been Ubisoft over the last 10 or so years. But getting away from us for a moment, and I know that it seems like consumers probably playing the biggest role. We're not. Turns out Ubisoft's facing a class action lawsuit alleging that it like illegally shared personally identifiable information about store users. And this comes from PC Gamer. You can look it up. It's under Lakes et al. V. Ubisoft, and it's filed into the U.S. District Court in the Northern District of California. So that's not
Rough.
great.
That's rough.
Uh, we've heard that their investors have been rebelling internally against them for a while, and it's the investors who are trying to push Gimo out and trying to bring Tencent in to buy it and privatize the company. And I'll be honest, I'm not a big business guy. I don't know why you would want it to go private. This just feels like someone wanting to sabotage Gimo specifically, but maybe there is an aspect to that that I don't understand. Because if the company goes private, there's no investors, right?
Well, there's no public investors.
I guess, yeah. I guess you can still take money from people and you can still have them invest in you, but you don't have to go through the stock market. Yeah, fair enough. Again, not a business guy. I don't fully get that. Um, so yeah, they've had to deal with us. They've had to deal with their stockholders. The monetization director, Stevie Chazard, has done the thing you're not meant to do when your company is catching blows left, right, and center. And he's elected to speak out against the internet. So you know this is going to go
Oh.
over
Oh, yep.
very well.
No, you don't do that.
I'm sure
you
you've
don't
got.
speak.
I don't. No,
You
well,
just said you don't speak. You just shut up.
you just take your blows. But instead, he had this big long Twitter diatribe, and I got a chuckle out of the fact of his pejorative use of the word gamer. That was fun. I was like, oh yeah, all right, fair enough. You who works in the game industry is using that word as a pejorative. Okay, interesting. Anyhow, Chassid had seen like the chatter surrounding like all these recent Ubisoft events, and I believe his words were sad and revolting, in reference to both the fans speaking negatively about the company and, more interestingly, the people on LinkedIn, so peers in the industry, who also seem to have a negative outlook. Let me bring up the tweets. Enjoying the video? Remember to like and sub. Helps out the channel a bunch, and we're grateful for everyone we get. Yeah, anyways, this has gone over about as well as you'd think. The tweet reads, "The gaming industry is rough at the moment. We all know it. But seeing how gamers react on social medias, wishing ill fate to companies and people alike is sad, and not only towards Ubisoft. Even though it's always the vocal minority that expresses themselves on social media, I was hurt and ashamed to be part of this community. What is even more revolting is coming on to LinkedIn and seeing the same comments from people within the industry. On top of exposing yourself as a clearly non-decent human being, you are affecting thousands of employees that are already impacted by all the hate despite doing their best to deliver incredible experiences." So yeah, he's trying to shame everyone into being nice to the company that's actively putting out slop. And
Hmm.
I guess he's just forgotten why people are mad at Ubisoft. You're shipping games that aren't complete, and
Yep.
you, as the monetization director, know this best of all. You're nickeling and diming the experience of playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
So go fuck yourself.
Yep.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been rough to be Ubi. They're catching it from I don't know if you can catch it from more angles than they're catching it. I'm sure next week they'll find a way to surprise me.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it does seem like they are fucked 6 days from Sunday. 6 ways from Sunday.
I mean, there are 6 days from Sunday, so
Yeah, same concept. But
yeah.
yeah, no, I don't know how it gets worse. But I'm sure Ubisoft will be able to surprise me. They've done a bang up job this last month.
Yeah, who knows?
In
Maybe
your
10 cent.
opinion, what could they do to make things better?
You know, if I had to say, it'd be slow down. And
Yeah.
it comes to the point where you have to take a loss. I think you really have to consider the fact is that, especially Shadows being a fantastic example of this. We know that gameplay wise, it's probably going to be pretty samey to Origins and to Odyssey and to Valhalla.
Yeah.
So you know you're gonna catch a lot of flack for all the normal Ubisoft trappings that people are tired of. But on top of that, specifically with Shadows, it showed that they were in fact rushing the process. I would have to sit down and find all the things that I read up before proving this. But over the last week, I did catch a fair few stories about a lot of the process of Shadows was rushed, and it led to all of these issues. I think I tried to defend Ubisoft 2 weeks ago by saying they've always been very good when it came to historical accuracy. They've always had a group of people that would come in and guide them through that aspect so that they were doing things correctly. Well, it came out, or it didn't come out, but it's being said that that didn't happen until very late into the process of Shadows, which
Oh,
would make sense
there you go.
because
Remember I said that, like, something like
yes,
that? There
you
was a
called this out directly. You
total.
said
Yep.
there should be more people about this culture on the inside. I was like, but they're
Yep.
usually so good about this. You were absolutely right. There were people, but they were way too late into development.
Yep. There you
But
go.
that's if this is true. There's every chance that this is just people hating on Ubisoft, but it seems correct. Specifically with Shadows, we know that they stole the flag from the historical reproduction company without citing or paying them. We know that there's been the blowback to Yasuke, not in terms of his race even, but just his placement in society. There was the whole Torigate incident, and there's just been an overwhelming idea of how they've presented themselves in this situation. So it just seems like the company is rushing through these games. If we were to go to Outlaws, Outlaws is a finished project, but it still has a bunch of issues with it, a lot of refining that absolutely could have been done, and just ideas that maybe were best either left out or further doubled down on for a more full experience.
Yeah.
They're juggling too many things at once. These games would have probably been in development the same time as the Avatar game, which is an absolutely massive game, which I think came out and 2 weeks later was immediately on sale because it just didn't get the sales it needed. Uh, X Defiant, like I said, X Defiant is struggling. Like this was supposed to be the Ubisoft shooter, and now there's talks about it not existing for much longer. They need to pare back what they're doing. They're juggling too many. There's too many. There's too many things on their mind. There's too many balls in the air. There's too many fingers in the pies. They just need to slow down. They've been able to get away with a lot of this for so long because all of their games are essentially the same game with a new coat of paint, which by and large has worked. But
I mean,
we've been hearing
that's Call of
complaints
Duty.
about this. Look, no argument, but Call of Duty is an IP. It's not a studio. It's not a suite of games. Like Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, The
Yeah.
Division, all are the same game except for The Division. Wait, no, that's true of Far Cry. It's a shooting game, but it's all the same ideas to the point that when people saw Zelda Breath of the Wild and they saw towers, they cringed inward because they knew what that meant.
Yeah.
Like Ubisoft has developed for themselves a reputation that is not very good but entirely deserved. So if they want to make a change, they have to show that they are making changes, do something new. And to be fair to them, there have been attempts. The newest Prince of Persia is a side-scrolling adventure in the vein of the original Prince of Persia. That's really good. It's just a shame that in order to talk about this game, we also have to talk about the fact that The Sands of Time is still not out. We don't know where that is in development, and we don't even know if that's going to come out now.
That Prince of Persia game also bombed.
Yeah, that's a shame. I'm not sure for the reasons behind that. I mean, I guess I'm part of the problem. I wanted to pick it up. I still haven't. I will eventually. It's on the list, like behind Mirage and such. But I also, oh man, there's a lot of issues with Ubisoft because there's people who don't like them because of their controversy. There's people like me who don't like buying their games because I don't want to sign into the Ubisoft client. I don't.
Hey man,
Uh,
Shadows is
they,
coming
oh
out
my
on
god.
Steam day one.
So, but all this is in reaction to the
Yeah.
failings of Outlaw and now the issues with Shadows itself. They need a win.
Hmm.
Like, at the end of the day, they have investors they have to please. And you literally said it the other day, their shares were at $8.
Hmm.
That's not great.
Nope.
So, uh, they need to focus on just making games for a bit. Their subscription service didn't work. Their pyramid scheme of a payment plan of the basic, the deluxe, the hyper deluxe, and the gold tinted tiers, that's gone over like a lead balloon. Uh, they should, they've just been failing on every front. So they need to
Yeah.
go back to what works. Just make a couple of games, put it out for everyone, make sure those games aren't aren't buggy, work start to finish, and are good. Like Ubisoft is kind of the face of the issue with a lot of games now, where everyone makes the joke, if you buy it day one, you're a beta tester.
Yep.
So if they put out a good game that is full, a la way back in the day, Phoenix Rising, which doesn't get a sequel because it's not, I don't know, Call of Duty, I
But
guess.
Assassin's Creed,
But
yeah.
yeah, if they were to put out another game like that, that just like was a critical darling and that had no issues with it, so to speak, they could fix this in a couple of years. But it's going to be a slow process that's going to hurt them financially, uh, and they just have to suck it up because, frankly, unless they get bought out by Tencent, they're going to be hurting financially regardless.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to my TEDx talk.
TEDx stuff. Well, I do have a hilarious story that just popped up. Apparently, you guys remember a Switch mod chip seller getting sued by Nintendo? I think it was,
Maybe?
yeah, it was way back. Anyway, he was being sued by Nintendo. He claimed he did nothing wrong, right? And the modder told Nintendo that he would stop selling them. He didn't stop selling them. Now he's taking on Nintendo without a lawyer.
Oh,
This
without a
this feels
lawyer?
this is
Yep.
bold.
bold,
Okay.
bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out.
I just you must be very wealthy, first of all, that you want to
I
go
mean,
to
on one hand, he doesn't have to pay a lawyer. On the
yeah,
other-
there's I suppose. On the other hand, he's got to do it himself.
yeah.
It was June of this year. Nintendo filed an additional lawsuit in courts. As they were cracking down on Michigan resident Ryan Daly, also known as his alias Homebrew Homie.
Hey, what a name though.
Yeah, he is apparently taking on Nintendo without a lawyer.
So I guess one of two things has happened. Either he's insane, or he genuinely thinks he can win. Problem is, um, he's making a physical change to the physical system. I
And
don't know that he can legally. I don't think there's any path to victory here, right?
there's the article on it. He's I think he's doing fair use.
I don't think you get fair use on the console.
Uh,
Oh man, I'll be
uh,
very interested to see how this goes if it's not just a joke.
Hmm.
Oh no, that's funny. That's funny. And Matt, all right, this guy's never gonna win. All right, never gonna
No.
win.
No,
like
not a
never
chance in
gonna
hell.
win. But what if he did?
So
Uh,
I don't know what that would mean. I guess if he won, it would probably mean emulators are back on the menu, boys. Um, because someone else would just make an emulator and they would just
Yeah,
do the smart thing and say it's just an emulator. We don't do games, we don't do anything. We're using the modding uh this thing to make it so that this game we will be able to archive this going forward. But given that, I guess neither of them went to court though. They both just died in arbitration. I don't
mhm.
yeah.
know.
Well,
The
if he
defend
wins, they'll just send Luigi to slow roll them.
Oh, true.
Oh yeah,
True.
yeah.
True.
No, the
Yeah.
ninjas are gonna kill him for sure.
Yeah.
He did counter it with a long list of affirmative defenses. So I think it's like 16
Fair.
affirmative defenses. So uh uh he might be just trying to throw the book at the issue. I mean
Cool.
there's no way he wins, but in the case that he does win, this will be like the biggest this will be the biggest fuck up in Nintendo ever.
if he wins, I genuinely think they'll send someone to kill him. We're gonna
Yeah, true.
we're gonna hear that he like I joked about this with Jim Ryan and that whole Concord stuff. Apparently, that's Herman Holtz cross to bear.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, no, if you win against Nintendo in court, I think just on principle you have to die for their I don't
Yeah.
know spotless reputation. But then
They'll stuff
also
you down a
because
pipe. That's a little.
they're gonna give you some bad mushrooms, kid.
Nintendo, don't kill us, please. Sorry.
Yeah, no, please don't.
Please don't. Please don't.
I buy your products. I say this all in jest, mostly, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be. It's good. This is me. This is me as
I mean,
as
yeah,
this court case is
actually.
going on.
Yeah. Popcorn.
Good
Oh
luck, my
man.
guy. Good luck, homie.
Yeah. Good luck, home. Good luck, homie. Indeed. But yeah, I saw that scrolling down. That's hilarious. That is it for the news. Um. Yeah, I don't see
That's
anything
it.
on news. I think
We
we're
did. We made it to the end. I'm sorry.
yay.
I wouldn't shut
I mean,
up.
some games this
No,
week
ask your
came
question.
out. Yeah, some games this week came out. Like Sparking Zero came out.
Yeah.
Or well, it's in early access. Sparking Zero is.
Oh yeah, I was about to say I don't think that comes out till the 11th, right? It launches same day
Yeah.
as Metaphor. They're doing an
Yeah.
early access period for pre-orders, I guess.
Yeah.
They have
So people
Silent Hill 2, the remake.
Silent Hill 2
Which
remake also came out. Yeah.
is
Yeah.
the most hilarious situation. That game's really good, and people are mad about it.
They're mad that it's good. That's funny. Or they could sit
I
and swivel.
Yeah, like they don't actually have a good reason to be mad. This is just a case of
That's so
everyone was
funny.
ragging on Bloober Team, and admittedly they had every right to think it was going to be a failure, but Bloober delivered.
Yeah, I do
It's
want to get it next time I get money. Paycheck.
95% overwhelmingly positive on Steam.
Nice.
I,
Good.
I'll be
Love
honest,
it.
I forget the last time I've seen Silent Hill do this well critically. It's been rough to be a Silent Hill fan,
Yeah,
which I
season
am.
4
I'm
it
gonna be
dropped off,
straight.
to be
I'm gonna be
honest.
straight here, right? This game, like, when I was watching I was watching somebody play it. It wasn't
Yeah.
Mouse. I mean, this game just looks like it plays like a Resident Evil, like what modern like third person Resident Evil. So I mean,
Yeah.
I don't see how it would be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like it actually
I know.
kind of look. Honestly, when we really hear it, kind of looks like RE4 remake in a
Oh,
sense, and
okay.
that's kind of a play
I
on
just
because
assume
it's
more
the
foggy.
main. Yeah, just more foggy. I mean, it's also a play on that the main guy kind of looks like Leon from the back. So
Yeah,
I mean, the main
he's a
character
bit
kind of
more
did it
yellow.
already, but yeah.
he also wears a leather
I'm
jacket.
I am yeah. I mean, kind of also did in the 2 as well, but anywho's, I'm very happy that it's good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah, I have no intention
Unreal,
of picking it up,
sorry,
but
Until Dawn also a new version of that is out.
Oh, the
oh, is
Now
it
remake.
about
I was
time for that? The
actually yeah, it's
remaster.
out now. You can play it. I was actually a little bit impressed with it because they've added things. They've changed cutscenes. They've added
Yeah.
new voice lines and stuff. You know,
Oh, they got
it
back
is
the actors to do more stuff, eh?
it is a new experience. There
Interesting.
there are graphical bugs that you might encounter, which I've seen,
Gonna need you
like
to elaborate on that.
like a person missing their head not because they were murdered, but because it didn't load.
Interesting choice. Okay.
but but from what I've seen of the cutscenes and the new added stuff, it's actually good.
Well,
Oh.
that's good. They probably weren't gonna keep their head
They've
anyway.
added a new musical score as well to make it more cinematic and stuff as well.
Wait, really?
People
Not
might be
like a,
angry that certain songs are not in it, but like for ambience and stuff like that during scenes, they've added new music and stuff. It's nice. It's like a movie.
Well, that's good. I mean,
like a
that's the whole
movie.
idea behind that, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, they have swapped out some songs from the original though. So if you're missing those, be prepared to be a bit disappointed by that. I don't know why they did it. Maybe it's just licensing. They had to.
Could be.
Yeah, it's most likely licensing.
Yes.
You know what game I want to play, but I can't
What?
because I'm stuck in the perpetual playing Trails box.
Are you saying you don't want to play Roblox with League?
No, I don't want to play Roblox
Join
with League. I'm
me.
sorry.
Join
Sorry, I do not.
her.
I do
Them.
not want to play
Join
Roblox.
them.
I want to play Satisfactory.
Oh yeah,
Oh
no,
my goodness. Yeah, fair enough.
I've been watching Mouse and Connor play it, and this game looks insane. Actually,
It genuinely looks really good, which threw me off.
yeah.
Not that like these games shouldn't look good. I just wasn't prepared for it. And I already have a mate who I think he's put 500 out. Has this game been in early access? It has, right?
Yeah. It was in early access. 1.0 came out recently.
Yeah, one of my mates has 500 hours in this game. Which, I mean, I don't
Yeah.
get to talk. I play Monster Hunter, so I mean, fair enough. But also, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I mean you're on a planet and you can turn this planet into your factory. And you can also apparently create a nuclear power plant at some point in time. So that's cool. But yeah, it's I want to play it. I've been, like I said, I've been watching Mouse and them play it, and I'm not like super too into like fucking building games or whatever, like stuff like that. But I mean, this actually kind of looks like really interesting, and you can play with people. It's multiplayer. So
Oh, actually, I didn't know it was multiplayer. Okay.
yeah. And it's only and it's not even it's not even full price video games. $40.
I mean,
$40
Palworld,
dollars.
Helldivers, Satisfactory.
Mm-hmm.
It can be done. You can make a huge and profitable game without doubling its actual price.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Um, East 10 comes out at the end of this month, so gotta play that dollet. You played East 9.
What?
You liked it.
Dude, I was like, do I have to play this? I've played one East game and it was enjoyable, but I probably won't stay with the series.
But this time
I
it's
don't particularly.
Vikings.
Yeah, the problem is I don't particularly like the main character. I am not sold on Adol.
Oh no, you don't have to be sold on it. You'd be sold on the people that are surrounding Adol.
Surrounding him, yeah, that seems to be what everyone says, which is not. I mean, that's fair, but I feel like if I can't get invested in your MC, the one guy who's been in every single one of your games, you're
Hey,
probably doing something
wait,
wrong.
the thing is, all right, Adol is just the vehicle. All right.
That's fair. That is what it feels like.
And he also doesn't talk, which is good because he's voiced by Bryce. So
Bryce has gotten better. He's still not on my top 10 list, tell you what, but he's gotten
well,
better.
to be okay, I mean he does battle efforts. Okay, so I mean that's fine. I think Bryce can do battle efforts. He was okay. His battle efforts for Law were pretty good. So and his
Oh yeah, that's right. I really
his
like his
law
law. Hold on, he has actually gotten better.
his law. Okay, no, it's not that he's gotten better. He's on a character that suits his
That suits him. This
style.
is true. They're not
Yeah.
forcing him onto like a super pro taggy MC.
Because the character, because the voice he uses for Law is still the same voice he uses for every other character.
Yeah, this is fair. This is fair. It's been that way since I think the first time that like I can really peg him to a character is Zidane back in. Oh yeah, I'm playing Dissidia. No wonder. Never mind. That's why this is on my mind. Yeah, because he's Zidane in Dissidia.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
I never liked Buchholz's casting anyway.
He's also the reason why I won't watch Sword Art Online in English. So
I should go listen to what the English cast is like. I've only ever seen it in Japanese.
Well, Shirami Lei plays Asuna, and she does a decent Asuna. So
I don't think she was even in the episode. Sorry, I say I've only seen it in Japanese. I've not seen SAO at all. I've watched part of one episode
mm-hmm.
where he's with a little summoner girl, I think.
Oh, that's
And a bunch of guys try to hit him,
Silica.
or they do
Yeah.
hit him, and like they just don't do enough to
Oh,
get through
yeah,
his
yeah,
regen or
yeah.
something.
Yeah, because he's like twice their level.
That this is literally the extent of what I have watched.
Yeah.
I've played more SAO than I've watched.
Yeah. Anyway, we are at the end, so we talk about the video games we're going to be playing. I know Dalit is continuously playing Balatro right now. Like he's in it right
It's
now.
not. Well, no. I had to stop, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to focus. It's not my fault. The game is designed to be crack. What do you want from me?
Be stronger.
I will be playing. Sure. So I'm looking at a list that I've had since the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Of the games I wanted to pick up.
Yeah.
How many games have you played on that list?
Most of them. I played Tekken 8.
Okay.
I played Granblue, 7, Wukong, Hades 2, The First Descendant. I did not pick up Hellblade because I heard not great things.
Oh,
So I've been
really?
waiting.
Oh yeah.
Not that the
said,
game is bad, just that it wasn't worth the price it released at. So I've been waiting for that to come down, only to realize that it's on Game Pass. So I have it.
Yeah.
I own it.
It was day one.
$9 a month for me. I forgot about that. But yeah, because of like the reviews and people seeming not very high on it, I didn't actually get around to it. However, the last game on this list is Metaphor. And I did play through I played through, well, I kind of played through the demo before the power decided that nope, none of that for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I'm picking this up at launch. It's like the last game of the year that's on my list.
I think you need to continue playing it. Every person I have heard play this demo has either been extremely addicted to it, or two has said it is absolutely fucking amazing.
I'm really happy to hear that, because during my time playing, I got plenty of combat in, mind you. I only had two characters. I had the main character, and I had the really kind, if a bit,
dude,
if a bit forward Lord guy. They were great. I have no issues with this character. My worry is I am someone who gets about 3/4 of the way through a Persona game, and then I hard burn out.
Yeah.
I never finished 5 on my own. I got to Sae's mansion, and then I burnt out. And then I just watched the rest of it.
I don't know if you should specifically consider this a Persona game.
So this is my thought, and this is a thought that I've had for a while. I was hoping, and it's not this. I was hoping this was going to be like Digital Devil Saga, and it's not.
Oh, okay.
But it takes enough from SMT, which I mean, so does Persona, because it's all the same bloody systems, right? That it does feel good to play, and it does doing the one thing I'm tired of.
You're cutting in and out.
Oh, one moment,
Yeah,
please.
you were.
It has two major bonuses. It steals a lot from SMT, which I like, which makes sense. All of these games play the same. I recognize there is a difference between Persona and SMT. It's not all that. So, the big thing for Metaphor is that we're not in high school anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't know to what degree the life sim is going to be, but it cannot be as bad as Persona. So there's a good chance. So what's going to happen is I'm going to and on, I don't know, but I'm going to pick this game up in 2 days because it's on my list. I literally have money put aside for it. This is the last game on my list for this year.
I mean, it's the last game to come out this year, so
yeah, I have been pretty good about not buying a lot of games this year. One of these games was a gift. Two of these games were a gift, and then leaves 1, 2, 3. I bought 3 of these games. If I buy Metaphor.
Yeah.
The First Descendant is free, and Hellblade, it came with Game Pass. So, yeah. I don't like I have everything set aside. I need you're right. I need to finish the demo.
Yeah. I Happy did the one thing that he does in every demo that he likes. He's put an ungodly amount of hours into the demo.
Did I miss who you're talking about? I'm sorry. Who's this?
Happy.
Haps. Okay. Fair.
Yeah, you know Haps got to almost max level in Octopath Traveler 2 demo. Right?
Yes, I remember you telling me about that. He's a psychopath.
Yeah.
There is no game I love that much, by the way. Just so we understand, Haps is actually a gamer. I'm a fraud.
Hey man, I got to a very high level in Kingdom Hearts 1 on the island.
I think the highest level I ever got, because I tried when I was young.
What'd you get though? Dollet?
Am I still dying?
Yeah, you cut out
went
like
silent.
immediately.
God damn it. I got like to the high 20s, maybe 30 before like I went insane and I couldn't do it.
Oh yeah, I got the high 20s. Yeah. Kingdom
Like
Hearts
they just
1.
stopped giving out any meaningful experience after a point, which is fair. They're not designed to.
Oh, I know. I mean, you get one experience after a certain point.
Oh, yeah.
And
But I mean, there are
you
other
can increase
things.
that with tech, but
Exactly. But
and that's
even
the thing
then,
that
it's so much input for so little
yeah,
experience.
and I got to like level 20 something, and that was before the Heartless even attack, whatever. I got
Wait,
to
you
that.
got there
I got that
before the
out of
heart.
I got that off of Waka.
I mean, that's a pretty good, like,
You just tech the ball back.
you just tech the ball back at him. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, no, I did it the hard way. I just waited till the shadow showed up and I got the Keyblade.
Somebody's got the 99 on the island.
I saw it.
It
Yeah.
took that forever, but yeah, somebody did it.
Again, I'm a fraud. I play video games. These are gamers.
Yeah.
We are
So
not the same.
you're gonna pick up Metaphor because
Yeah, I have the money set aside for it. I'm probably going to.
I'm not gonna do that at launch, but I will probably pick up Metaphor at some point. Actually, I don't know. I still haven't beaten SMT5, so you know.
I never
And
picked it up.
I
Shit,
bought
I
that
need to
game
go
twice.
back. Yeah, I need to go back and grab that. I didn't pick that game up because I thought it was going to be on Game Pass and it wasn't. But
Yeah.
one way or another, I will pick that game up
Yeah, 'cause
eventually.
you have a whole route you need to do.
Yeah, because I played through whatever the base route is, and I
Yeah.
fucking loved that game. And there's a whole
Yeah.
second game now, apparently, and I didn't
Yep.
believe it. And everyone says like it's a whole ass game unto itself. So
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah, you make the choice right off the bat, and it changes everything that happens in
That's
the game.
crazy. And I know that all Atlas games actually do that, but it's just crazy every time it happens.
Yeah. All right, so Balatro and Metaphor. Okay. Lake?
And Dissidia.
Oh, well, yeah, Dissidia, but
Probably the same things I mentioned earlier. Probably
more Roblox?
You gonna do the dress up?
I hope so. It looks actually fun.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, maybe hopefully more Project Zomboid too, because that was interesting to play. I will also be probably playing. I don't know. I don't know actually. Besides the usual, maybe I'll
That's
be
fair.
surprised. I was surprised by Roblox, so maybe something else
I bet
random
you
will
were.
happen.
I can't wait to find what new thing you bring that surprises me in Aqua.
Yeah.
Yep. We're gonna come back and she's gonna be like, uh, Yeah, I've been playing nothing but Fortnite and PUBG for the past week.
Well, she's already done the Fortnite thing, and then she did WoW, and now she's done Roblox. So whatever she chooses, whatever they choose now, is just going to be a surprise.
True. Yeah,
Indeed.
true. Gonna pull. They're just gonna pull out an old abacus. Like, I've been playing my abacus past week.
Math. I'm going to math. Only
I have math.
thing I barely math with is buying stuff and playing tabletop. I'm not
Oh
going
my
to
god!
abacus. I'm not going to
If
old
they
school that.
they're at least gonna whip out Carmen San Diego for the DOS.
There is a new Carmen San Diego at some point. I think that came
Is?
out.
Sorry?
Or I
Wait,
think
hold
there
on.
is.
Really?
Yeah, I think they are making
I
a
know
new
there's
Carmen
one on
San
Steam
Diego.
because I was looking up, nostalgia took over. I was like, I wonder if there's a Carmen San Diego game. There
Oh,
is
the
one.
newest thing, is it based on like that Netflix show from like a couple years ago?
I
Yeah, it's Where
think
in the World
so.
is Carmen San Diego. I think it's just a remake of the old one.
Oh, okay. So this is just back to what it was. Because I think right at the start of COVID, they put out a new one.
Released 2020.
Oh no, I
Yeah, that
found the
sounds
trailer.
about right.
Trailer came out 4 weeks ago.
It's a new
I put
one?
it.
Oh, that's
I
new
put it.
new.
I put it in Twitch chat, and I put it
Oh,
in. I'm putting
a
it in
new
this one.
one.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, this is definitely based off of
Oh, that's the
the
show.
Netflix
Yeah, that's
one.
the show one.
Is
Yeah.
this the show?
Okay.
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 Yeah, I can tell just looking at her from the back, that's what that is. I
Ooh, very
I
good.
feel really bad for saying this, but my least favorite bit about this is Carmen's a good guy now.
No, this is
Oh,
actually the
really?
game.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
but
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 in
the
the
game is
series.
based.
Oh,
It's based
yeah.
on the series. That's what we were saying.
Okay.
But yeah, apparently she's not stealing things. She's taking things I think she's stealing it to beat other thieves, and then keeping it safe. But she's not actually we're not looking for her. She's the
No,
protag
we
now.
are her. Yeah.
I'm
I
like, but
mean,
that's her whole mystique though.
And she's a thief.
She's a phantom thief.
Oh well.
Oh,
I'm
what are
getting
you gonna
triggered
do,
because you
man?
said Phantom Thief. Uh,
I'm sorry. No, I mean that in the traditional sense.
Man. Persona and Trails. Why must you always do Phantom Thieves? Anyway.
Blue Blanc.
Hey, I mean, Grimcats is technically there. She's called Phantom Thief.
Oh
Grimcats.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
she would be. Hey, I'm sorry. I just attributed so much to Blue Blanc.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ha ha.
Oh,
Ho ho ho.
he's
Yeah,
great.
I'm gonna be playing Kai. That's literally what I'm gonna do after this podcast. Because I'm at the end.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll beat it tonight, but I'll beat it tomorrow night.
Hey, let's
Because
go.
if we know Trails. I'm not even on the final route or whatever. I'm on the route before the final route. So
That last dungeon's gonna take a bit.
Yeah, this is gonna probably take forever, and it's gonna be like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sitting here like, oh my god, I'm right before the final boss, and then there's gonna be like a 3-hour cutscene after, and then actually no, there's a cliffhanger, so it's gonna after the boss, it's just gonna be me sitting there like, staring at my screen, being like, oh my god,
Yeah.
oh yeah, so probably not beating it tonight, but. Since I'll have all night tomorrow night, yeah, probably. But that's it. Yeah, that's I mean, after that, I have my SAO game that I'm gonna hop on and play because I can just queue up with 20 people and just play that randomly. Since I'm the only one out of everyone that got it.
Sorry.
Yeah, like.
Not
Well,
paying full price for that.
I did expect you to get it. That's more of a bag on Tara for not getting it.
Fair. I thought she was going to.
Yeah, well, she's been a little busy lately.
Fair enough.
And I think the next game I'm getting is probably East 10, so that doesn't happen until the end of the month. So.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta get my Falcom in, man. If I beat Kai, and then I beat East 10. I've beat 3 Falcom games in 1 year.
You defeated 2024 Falcom.
Yeah, I did. I did defeat 2024 Falcom.
Am I yet to finish a game? I don't think I. I'm yet to
It's
finish
fine.
one game yet.
Yeah.
It's
I
fine.
just keep jumping from game to game to game. I never finish one. I'm
Hey,
so bad
if
for
your
that.
backlog
I
isn't
have faith.
perpetual, then we can't be perpetual backlog.
It's true.
alright?
I'm propping this. I'm
True.
propping this up.
It's all on their back. They are solely keeping us afloat.
Oh God.
Well, Dalit, close us out.
Thanks for joining us again today. If you enjoyed what you heard, you can find us here at twitch.tv/LakeWibbles on Tuesday evenings. Or if you want us on demand, you can catch us on YouTube at Perpetual Backlog Podcast. Wherever you choose to listen to us, remember to show us some love with a follow, a like, a comment. That said, I've been Dalit, they've been Leek and Aqua, and you've been amazing. And we'll see you in the next one. Be good now.
Bye.
Bye.
Before you go, remember to like, comment, and sub to us. Not only does it help out the channel and let us know what you're into, but it also makes you 100% cooler than everybody else. I checked with Aqua. It's definitely true.